Hello and welcome to Tech Query, where I have discussions and tutorials on Linux, Raspberry Pi projects, networking, and embedded systems. In this video, I'm going to cover how you can play Axis and Allies for free on Linux. For those who don't know, Axis and Allies is a beloved World War II strategy board game. But the physical board games can be quite pricey, and it can be hard to find people who are willing to play, as games can stretch on for upwards of 5 to 10 hours. But thanks to a dedicated community on Linux, there is now a free-to-play version, with small alterations to the original rules, but the overall gameplay is still the same. And what makes this game potentially even better than the original Axis and Allies game it's based on is it has way more map options, some of which are shown on the community website. This game is completely open source and is called TripleA. For more details, feel free to check out their website, shown in the description below. While this game is fun to play, as I've spent many hours on it, there is a small catch. It does require a little bit of extra work by the user to get it actually up and running. For this reason, on the Ubuntu software page, the reviews for this game are actually less than stellar. To help you avoid a bad experience with TripleA, I'm going to give a brief tutorial on how to do the installation and how to resolve the initial problems. The instructions in this video are going to be specific for Ubuntu Linux. Other versions of Linux may require different steps. So first, we'll go to the Ubuntu software app, search for TripleA, and click Install. Once the installation is complete, go ahead and click Launch. But you find you have a problem. Instead of the game loading, you just get a bunch of error messages. After doing some research online, I found that these errors are because of the Java version I was running. Check what's on your PC by running java-version. When I encountered this error, I had Java 11. Unfortunately, this game will only be supported on Java versions 8 and below. If you find that you have a Java version that's greater than 8, you'll need to uninstall your Java folders and reinstall Java with a version of 8 or below. The commands I use to uninstall and reinstall Java are both in the description of this video and are shown on the screen here. After installing Java 8, run java-version again just to make sure everything looks as we expect. If this is the case, you can now reopen TripleA and it should work this time. At this point, the game is now opening and now you can play to your heart's content. What makes TripleA really outstanding is it provides so many configuration options, more than I would ever have time to play with. But if you really want to optimize how your game plays, there are tons of options, and again, everything is open source. Personally, I just leave the default settings and tend to play with the AIs provided in the game, although there is online multiplayer as well. I also just prefer the standard map they provide. Once the game settings are to your liking, go ahead and press play. At this point, it plays like any other Axis and Allies game. There is a tutorial option for this game if you want to learn its mechanics, but for the most part it's actually pretty straightforward. If you played Axis and Allies before, you will likely not need the tutorial and will be able to figure out pretty intuitively how to start your first game. Well, I hope this video was helpful to someone, and I would like to thank all the Linux community for the helpful posts on various websites that actually helped me figure out that the Java version was why my game kept crashing. I'll leave links to the forums I used to figure out how to resolve this issue in the description below. This has been TechQuery, and until the next video, have a great one.